Yeah, so good morning, everyone. I'm really glad to given the opportunity to present our work at Alcuranex, where we are trying to pioneer small molecule antibiotic discovery to tackle the problem of antimicrobial resistance. I wished to attend the meeting in person, but I have some commitment in the morning, but I'm going to come afterwards. So if anybody has any question for me, I'll be more happy to answer them. So, as everything else and many things in this life, antimicrobial resistance is a silent pandemic. It is growing. A lot of people talking about it, but no one is really taking strong actions against it. So, in terms of antimicrobial resistant mortality rate, so there have been approximately 4.7 million deaths in 2021, and this number is expected to reach 8.2 million per year in 2050. If we just extrapolate the number to given the current exponential growth of the mortality rate. So if we can solve the problem of antimicrobial resistance, we are expecting to save 11.1 million lives by 2025, and additionally 92 million lives by 2050. So in terms of economic impact, so economy is losing a lot of money because of antimicrobial resistance. So it has been forecasted to reach approximately 100 trillion USD dollars could be lost due to the bacteria developing more and more resistance against existing antibiotic solutions. So there is an urgent call of actions, infection prevention, responsible antibiotic use, as well as development of new antimicrobials. And this is a really challenge because the vast majority of antibiotics we have been using for the last, let's say, 50 to 70 years are actually antibiotics that have been discovered up to the 80s. And there have been a development void from the 70s to the early 2000s. Nobody is really working antibiotics, even though we know there is a serious problem that is coming. It could be a pandemic, as the COVID pandemic. But yeah, because of a lot of issues, regulations, and lack of funding, so there is no real new development in the antibiotic space. So at Alcuranex, we are trying to build our own platform that is supposed to accelerate the discovery of novel antibiotics using an AI antibacterial drug discovery engine. So traditionally, when you start a new program, you start screening to find novel compounds, find some hits, optimize them, go to preclinical and clinical studies, and finally you have an approval in place. At Alcuranex, we are aiming to shorten essentially the first two steps of the discovery. That is getting initial hits and getting candidate lead structures to move into IND enabling studies as well as the clinical phases of drug discovery. And we are hoping to make the entire drug discovery process for novel antibacterials faster, lower stage iteration risk, as well as cheaper. So in our pipeline, we are working mainly on the main platform, that is TargetX platform. And as an application of this platform, we are focusing heavily into programs. The first one is a program ALK-001, which is against C. difficile. Second program ALK-002 is against Acinetobacter baumannii. TargetX is designed or is going to be highly adaptable to new threats, both emerging, for example, an existing bacterial strains that gain resistance, as well as new bacterial species. So our focus is to develop targeted therapies to reduce cross-resistance to other bacterial species. So in terms of what we are trying to build, so our TargetX is a platform, is an engine. So think about it as a foundation model where a lot of data is coming through it. This data could be from other models. It could, like physical-chemical properties, ADME models, bioactivity prediction models, some experimental data, and the power of Target X is to digest all of this information and design new molecules. Not only designing them, it can even execute them. We are still building. We are still in the first stages of the platform development, but at the next stages of the development, this is what we are going. So we are going to make Target X completely automated, hopefully, so that we can make reuse of the data that we have already produced for other programs, use this information knowledge that we have generated for the other programs, and this will help us target new pathogens, new bacterial threats much more effectively. So the first one program that we're working on right now is C. diff. So C. diff is one of the most opportunistic pathogens. It has approximately 6% to 30% mortality rate. If left untreated, it can cause severe pseudomembranous colitis infection, which is life-threatening, especially in the elderly. And there are a lot of emergent resistant strains for this pathogen right now. So there is an urgent call of action, and we have identified unique virulence factor, unique targets on this that will help us to tackle or to kill the part, preventing it from causing the pathogenesis that it usually causes. Second one is program is Acinetobacter baumannii, which is listed as one of the most critical pathogen by the recent, most updated WHO list of critical and high priority pathogens that people has to take actions against. Infection caused by Acinetobacter can cause up to 50% mortality rate in hospitalized patients, and all sort of infections can happen due to Acinetobacter, from septicemia to cellulitis, facial ulceration, and so on. Again, we are targeting essential virulence factor in Acinetobacter baumannii with the help of the platform that we are building. So there is a significant market opportunity for Target X because usually large pharma companies prefer not to invest a lot of research funding for initial stages, and they prefer to acquire successful firms or biotechs. For an example, so Roche recently licensed a beta-lactamase inhibitor from an Edmonton-based biotech company called Fedora Pharmaceutical for $750 million as milestone payments, as well as annual sales royalty if the compound has been approved. Our key customers could be other pharma company, governmental health organizations, the health system in North America and worldwide. The market is big. Currently, it is estimated to be approximately $50 billion worldwide, and it is estimated to grow exponentially to $85 billion by 2033. So in terms of our platform development, because right now we're working in two programs as well as making the prototypes of our platform. So our initial stages of validation, hopefully they can end by 2026, where we can identify novel lead structures and start clinical studies in animal models as well as IND-enabling studies. And once we have a platform, we can engage with new programs, and you can see that the life cycle of the first two stages of the drug discovery should be much shortened once we have a working platform. So in terms of investment, so currently Alcuranex is funded jointly by an API fund to support initial operation by $500,000 Canadian dollars, and we're looking to get a seed investment of $7 to $10 billion. This will help us prototyping our platform, do preclinical investment studies, hiring people, as well as taking care of additional targets and pathogens. The real asset of Alcuranex is a team. We have teams that cover the entire spectrum of drug discovery, from computational science, that is myself. We have world-renowned expert in microbiology and drug discovery. We have Dr. Peter Hockey. We have Dan and Darren and Mustafa. These are renowned scientists in the field. And we have, on the business side, we have Andrew. And as our CEO, I'm sure everybody is aware about, at least he met Dr. Michael Houghton once. He's a Nobel laureate. And he is the one who is supporting this program from the beginning. And we'd like finally to acknowledge the API and Lika Sheng for their generous support, and we need your investment to help us move along this journey. And thank you so much for giving me the chance to talk.